So, you may have heard of the terms prebiotics and probiotics, but you may not be familiar with the differences or where they're found. So, both are super important, but my favorites are going to be prebiotics. So, prebiotics are the part of the plant that go undigested all the way down to your colon and act as food for the beneficial bacteria and fungi. So, as you eat prebiotics, your good bacteria, are able to flourish and be happy. So, they have been associated with improved immune system defenses. They repair leaky gut, support bone health by upping calcium absorption, decrease risk of allergies, and also produce metabolites called short chain fatty acids. More on that in the next slide. But first, where are they found? So they are in most plant foods. However, these are some concentrated sources: leeks, onions, Jerusalem artichokes, asparagus, bananas, oats, dandelion greens, barley, apples, cocoa, flax seeds, jicama, seaweed, and chicory root. You may also note that some of these are going to be higher in FODMAPs. So you may have to limit portions or try again in a few months once we have worked on healing your gut a bit more, but still try to include as much variety of these as possible. And even if you just get like small amounts in, it's still going to be super beneficial for your gut. So when you eat these prebiotics, they make their way down to your gut microbiome to feed the good gut bacteria. They then produce what's called short chain fatty acids, and the three main types are propionate, butyrate, and acetate. They act as a source of energy for the cells lining the colon. They have also been shown to help with diarrhea, inflammatory bowel disease. They reduce inflammation, especially leaky gut. They also cross that blood brain barrier to improve mental health. They protect against colon cancer and they regulate blood sugar levels, which is super important if you have diabetes. They also can protect your heart. These guys are kind of like miracle workers for your whole entire body. And then we have probiotics. So these are the actual live bacteria and yeast. We have probiotics in our gut microbiome. We also can ingest them in foods and supplements. So, in order to call something a probiotic, it has to have a proven health benefit. So, they have been shown to help your body digest food. They also keep bad bacteria from getting out of control. So, the more good bacteria you have, the less room there is for bad bacteria. They can also synthesize vitamin K and most of the water soluble B vitamins. And they can help you from getting food poisoning by upping the levels of good bacteria, again, to kind of push out bad bacteria and prevent them from entering your blood. So, in supplement form, there's a bunch of different strains and types. You can get the main ones are lactobacillus, bifidobacterium, and then a yeast is Saccharomyces boulardii. So, fermented foods are not technically probiotics, or not all of them, anyways, because there has to be that proven health benefit. And fermented foods tend to be wild. We can't control or really measure how much probiotics are going to be in each food. So, whether we can label them as a probiotic, they still have live active cultures that are beneficial to our health. So, there's yogurt, or you can do a dairy free yogurt, sauerkraut, and kimchi, which also have the added benefit of being high in fiber. If you have trouble with these, you could also try just sipping on the sauerkraut juice to help increase your tolerance for it. There's also tempeh, which is a soy product, miso, kombucha, and fermented veggies. Kombucha, I would be wary of just because it is high in sugar. So, if that is one that you enjoy, I would stick to smaller amounts or mix it with some water. And also make sure you drink water after because it can be a little bit erosive to your teeth. And then with miso, because you want to keep it as a live active culture, make sure you do not bring it to a boil. So what I will do is heat up my water and then add the miso to it after, just to make sure it doesn't come to a boil and then kill all of the live active bacteria. So one more note about probiotics is that in the fermented foods, the probiotics, the beneficial bacteria that you are ingesting through food or supplements, does not necessarily live in your gut. So they have proven benefits as they are moving throughout your digestive tract, but they are not going to colonize in your gut. So it's more important to consume them on a regular basis because as soon as you stop eating them or taking the supplements, the benefit could be gone. They're not going to stay in your gut forever. So when it comes to fermented foods, I would say have small amounts more often. So that might even just be a forkful of sauerkraut 3 days a week or a small amount of kefir a couple days a week. And you can mix and match these as you go. But the same thing with a supplement, once you stop taking it, it's not going to stay in your gut. It does have benefits while you are taking it, however. So, your action steps for now, try to include some prebiotic foods daily. And there is a handout for you to go by and look at all the different types. Maybe just start with some small amounts and make sure you're getting a different probiotics in weekly. And try some fermented foods. Start with again a small amount. Could be sipping on some sauerkraut or a little bit of kefir, and try to get that in consistently.